All right, I'm over here at the cave. I set up right here. This is the closest I could get to it because there's just so much other shit around. Some of the other people. I'm on Rosente. I think that's how you say it. Rocinante. That's Nam's base over there, or at least one of them. So the path to go to the cave is here. I couldn't get any closer because this guy put a thing here. And if we go further down, you'll see another guy put another thing over here. You know. Now, I haven't been in this cave on this server in a long time. I haven't been on this cave on the old servers in a very, very long time. So I don't remember exactly how it's configured, but I think you're supposed to go to the right. If you go straight to the right. Alright. Yeah, so like if I try to go through here, it won't let me go through. So what you're supposed to do is you cryo him and go in here, go down, okay, I think it's to the right. Alright. Come out, you little shits. I know you're here. Okay, here's a drop. Now my shotgun don't fuck around. Uh-oh. Lagging. They detected me. Yeah, lag isn't good. Okay, so this is the way to go out. They're shooting at me, but they're not hitting me. I don't see them anywhere. It's a double barrel shotgun, so I'm just like trying to be conservative on the ammo because it's slow to load. There we go, baby. I love this shotgun, man. Always wanted a high-level shotgun like this. See, they're trying to get me. Okay, there's water down there, but I don't know if I want to fuck with that. I hear the thing. Oh, shit. I don't think I'll get lost, but you never know. Ah, that's it right there. So I'm in the right place. Gotta be careful, because one of these fuckers will come up to you and push you into the goddamn void. So my target should theoretically be over there if my recall is correct. Okay, I guess that's not alive. Okay, we're good, we're good, we're good. Now, this is the hard part, getting over there without dying. Okay, I'm going to try to do this. Fuck. Okay. Oh, fuck. I got good armor. That's why I'm still alive. Got you. Well, I guess trying to bring that animal in here isn't going to work. I thought it was over here, but I guess not. According to what I'm seeing here, there's nothing over here. I guess it went the wrong direction. Shit. Oh. Oh, shit. I'm dying. Okay. I don't see where the thing is manifested here. I doubt anybody was in here and grabbed it. I could try to go over there. I think I'm getting close. Ah, I hear it. You hear it? I hear it. There. Ah, this is the other way. Well, I hear it over here. That's why I want to go this way. To the left. But I hear it also to the right. As long as I don't fall over somewhere, I think I'm okay. Ah, so I came around the other way. There it is. I came around the other way. Somehow. Okay, according to what I'm seeing here, it looks like I just have to drop down. Doesn't look like anything special. Huh. Okay, let's see if we can do that. It's the artifact of the Sky Lord. Whoa! Motherfucker tried to get me. Wrong weapon. Alright. That's where I was supposed to approach from. Ah, son of a bitch. Let's do this. Let's go back this way. That way's a little bit shady, but that's the one you're supposed to go there. But going back is a bitch, apparently. I think this is a better way. Even though you gotta kill more shit. I think I have to go right this time. Or just follow the corpses. You know, you can follow the corpses. Yeah, that's not where I want to go. You can go back. Whoa! Oh, wow. Did you see that? There's a fucking hole there, dude. Oh, it's a dead end. Ooh, this is hot. Your shotgun's fun, man. At least I kill it in a couple of shots. As opposed to the old days when I couldn't kill shit with my shotgun. Alright, it's dead. It's dead. I think we'll go this way. A little confusing, but eventually I'll find a way out. I think it's this way. It looks like it is. Or is this the way I came before? Yeah, this is the way I came before. So whatever I'm doing, I'm not... Alright, that's fine. See, if I die, at least I can respawn here and have a chance of getting this shit back. Could always use the pike. The pike will do lots of damage too. Let's see. I think this will work. If I do it here. Is that it? No, that's another hole. I'll try down here, and if not, I'll go back the other way. Is this it? This might be the way out. I don't know. Or is it not the way out? Shit, I don't know. I'm getting a lot of lag, man. Gotta be careful. Oh, there's the bushes. Remember, as soon as we came in, we saw bushes. That usually is a hint that there's an outside here somewhere. Here's some bushes. So let's try to follow the bushes out. Because that's the way they designed it. They put little hints to give you an idea where you're going and how to get out and all that. Did I get the right one or no? No, I didn't. Shit. I'm lost. Let's go back out this way. Go back out this way. Try not to run into a hole. Okay, let's go back. Now, another rule in caves is you go up. Upward slope means usually you get out. So this is an upward slope right here. So I'm trying to get out. There's more bushes. You see there's bushes? Little bushes. They give you a hint. This is level. More bushes. Bushes. Alright, came from this direction, so gotta find a way out. Now there's some elevation. Maybe over here. There's some sticks. Okay, this might be the way out. It actually might be the way out. Ah, there we go. See, I told you. You go up and you follow the bushes and sticks or whatever it is, and you're good to go. All right. So I got the artifact of the Sky Lord. I got one of them. Wasn't too bad. I'm sure my armor's banged up, but I don't care, you know. As long as I'm not freezing to death, I'm healing, you know. I'm good to go. Hopefully I won't run into anything, because Nam's got a base right there. His base has guns on it. That doesn't mean they work, but he's got guns. Let's see, where'd I put it? Here we go. Alright, I'll leave this stuff here. Take all my crap. Put out the bird. So it looks like that little guy, the little Patchy that I thought was going to help, wasn't going to help, unfortunately. And of course, the other good thing about Nam Space is there's a teleporter right there. Literally walking distance. Alright. Let's go back home. And we got one artifact of the Sky Lord. You know, and I forgot what else we got. We got some other crap in there. And we're on speedy, so we're going as fast as we can go. Let's see. Let me put this on. I think they destroyed. Yeah, they actually destroyed my helmet. They actually destroyed my helmet with the attacks. Isn't that amazing? But is that, you know, it's one of those replaceable helmets. Nothing fantastic. Yeah. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was an interesting thing. I hadn't done that in a long time, dude. Last time when in the other servers, when I did that, I like fell into the void and I instant died like several times because when I shot the crossbow, I didn't connect it on the other side properly, and I went ahead and zoomed in and I just fell short, and then I fell over. It happens. Yeah. I did get that bird on here. Yeah, okay. I personally would prefer to use terror birds, but you know, because they glide. But yeah. All right. All right, Speedy, you got nothing? All right, good. At least Speedy's got a good saddle now. That's one good thing. Oh, that's why I'm so heavy. I got all this raw meat on me. Now, I have another video lined up now that I want to focus in on, you know, in general. Another Legion of Men video. Why young men are so screwed in this economy. I already gave it a thumbs up, but I don't know if I actually played it on here, so I'm going to go ahead and
welcome back, Tribe.
Put it on
have
there.
One here from 2 and 20. It says, why Americans have no economic future. Get into it.
July 2024. The U.S. economy continues to show no signs of stopping. Housing prices hit all-time highs. The S&P 500 hits an all-time high, and the combined net worth of all Americans crossed $150 trillion. But while the U.S. has been booming for decades, one group has been left behind: young people. Older Americans saw their share of wealth increase by 12% since 1989, while those under 40 saw a decline of nearly 50%. And now, for the first time in 200 years, 30-year-olds are poorer than their parents.
The social contract that is now no longer in place, and for the first time in the U.S.'s history, a 30-year-old is no longer doing as well as his or her parents were.
What went wrong? This is America, the broken generation. The United States, the land of opportunity. From the beginning, America was different. Unlike the rest of the world, it didn't matter who you were or where you came from. Everyone had a shot at the American dream. However, the reality on the ground today is bleak, and the dream is more like a nightmare. In 1985, the average home was 4.5 times the median household income. Today, this number has ballooned by 50% to 7 times. In
That's
a matter
insane.
of 40 years, life has become 2 times as expensive. One of the main drivers for this affordability crisis is underdevelopment.
It's called NIMBY, not in my backyard. City planners say the attitude is spreading and causing widespread social disruption.
Across many major U.S. cities, landowners have fought against new developments to preserve their quality of life and to ensure their property values stay.
Beautiful golf courses with multi-million-dollar mansions right there on the green. Can't have these poors being built high-density development next to us that's going to wreck our property values. Greed, bro. Boomer greed, specifically.
High. Specifically, housing starts as a proportion of the U.S. population have dropped by 30% compared to before 2000. This means that as the population continues to grow, the number of homes per person is declining, driving up real estate prices. This reduced housing development has compounded over the years and has created a major shortage of housing. Take a look at San Francisco. In 2024, the city only approved 16 housing permits, and 7 of those were for single-family homes. This is a city of 1 million people, and the surrounding metro area has 7 million people, and all they approved was 16 housing permits. At the same time, the share of homes owned by older generations has grown significantly compared to the past. The proportion of homes owned by Americans over 55 has increased by 23%, while home ownership among those under 55 fell 19%.
And it's accelerating because I don't know if he actually brings it up here, but all the investment firms like Blackstone and whoever that were buying properties from the pandemic onwards when interest rates were cheap, they were buying these houses in cash, guys, over market and not doing any due diligence on them. Like there was no inspections or anything. They were taking them as is. So a lot of families that were otherwise wanting to buy a house couldn't because they were being priced out by corporations essentially. And this trend isn't slowing down. They're taking a bigger and bigger market share of all the single family homes. And then they turn around and rent them for far more than what you would have paid if you would have got the mortgage. So renting is extremely expensive now. Most people are stuck in a black hole of renting for astronomical prices and in turn not being able to save enough to buy their own house, which in turn they can't anyways because they're being outbid by corporations. It's insane. We're in a vicious cycle. On top of the NIMBY, on top of the construction plans, on top of like, if you've noticed, they're only building luxury apartment high rises now, like high density condos, all luxury. And if they build homes, it's always mega mansions that are like 3, 4, 5,000 square feet. Nothing. No starter homes whatsoever. There's no money in them.
Older generations have gobbled up real estate like candy, and they have created a system that benefits them meaningfully. Lower taxes on capital gains, the ability to forego taxes through a 1031 exchange, and much, much more. These homeowners are staying in their homes longer than ever. 54% of them own their homes outright. The rest have locked in historically low interest rates. And to make matters worse, HELOCs allow these homeowners to tap into their home equity without having to sell. The result? They have no incentive to sell. This, in addition to low development, has kept the housing market artificially tight. Empty nesters are living in large homes that are mostly unused, while young people struggle to get by. Concurrently, a new player has entered the housing market, private equity.
When I was
There
in
it
business
is.
school, there was nothing sexier in this entire world than private equity. It's exactly where you went if you wanted to one day own an island. And one of my classmates just bought an island.
Private equity currently owns 240,000 single-family homes in the United States. Now,
Insane.
this is only 5% of the overall single-family home rental market, which is small, but the ownership is concentrated in the Sun Belt, and this doesn't include ownership in apartments, which have a much, much higher corporate and private equity ownership rate. Analysts have shown that select Sunbelt markets have over 50% ownership by private investment firms.
Yep.
By concentrating their ownership in key markets, they are able to drive down property management and service costs while having an outsized role in dictating market rents. For example, between 2020 and 2023, rents for a 2-bedroom detached home rose by about 44% in Tampa, 43% in
hell?
Phoenix, and 35% in Atlanta.
And I've lived in Phoenix and Atlanta, and I can tell you these rates are probably on the low end today. I had apartments that I was hearing from friends that they were paying $1,400. It jumped up to $2,400, and then literally the next year it's $3,200 now. It's the same exact apartment. No crazy development in the area like a shopping mall or some high-end boutiques or multi-millionaire mansions, or high rises being built around them. Nothing. Same exact development. The same patch of dirt. Went from 14 to 32 in Phoenix. My neighborhood that I was renting for before I left America, my house was $2,500 a month in a gated community nestled in the foothills of like Moon Valley, I believe it was. Can't remember the exact part of the neighborhood, but right around Moon Valley. That house is now going for $3,600. Again, nothing has changed. How are Americans supposed to make ends meet when year over year the rent increases are astronomical, where most people are being priced out of their own homes, their own rentals? And they're able to do this because in my neighborhood alone, guys, it had to be over 50% because I spoke to somebody that was also renting from there, and they were saying that most of the owners were out of state. A couple of the houses were empty, and I rented mine. The other person across the street was a renter too, and they've been there for a few years already, and most of the houses they're pointing out, all these are rentals. It had to have been over half of the neighborhood in this private, gated, single-family home, American, typical suburbia, was owned by out-of-state corporations. So that's insane.
Compare this to the national average of 24%. The average home buyer can't compete against private equity. These firms are able to buy large swaths of home in one go and make unconditional offers with cash. Furthermore, unlike mom and pop landlords, corporate landlords are highly sophisticated and will do everything to generate additional yield, even breaking the law. Recently, the Attorney General of Washington, D.C. filed a case against 14 corporate landlords for price fixing through the analytics company RealPage. RealPage helped landlords optimize rents across 4.5 million units in the United States. And here's the shocker. RealPage is owned by private equity firm Thoma Bravo. By taking data from millions of units, RealPage is able to optimize pricing. And as you can see, the value of data to these corporations is in the billions. When researching these videos, we review and sign up for multiple news sources. Because of this, we are spammed with emails and prices further. Historically, housing has been a big wealth store, but with limited supply created by older generations and increasing competition for private equity, wealth is declining among younger generations. Since 1989, wealth held by those under 40 has...
Guys, let me let you in on a little secret. It's so bleak in America, and we need solutions now. We're not voting our way out of this. In Romania specifically, I don't know about the rest of the Balkan countries or Europe in general. In Romania, you as an American, anybody actually can own real estate. I know in the Philippines or Thailand, you couldn't own only a condo. You can own real estate in this country. You just can't buy land unless you're a citizen or married to one. Okay? What does this mean for you? There are properties right now in Romania. They're going to hate me for probably telling you this, but you could buy, like the apartment I'm in right now, loaded with furniture, everything, $100,000 or less. I've seen them go for $70,000, $80,000, $90,000, brand new construction. This is brand new. You're the first person in the unit. You could own it. It's yours. If you can somehow find remote work, or for the dudes that are on their pensions and have a pretty penny saved up, or the guys that are currently making six figures, like I talk to guys all the time in the private community or the consultations, these dudes are pulling in $100,000 to $300,000, $400,000 a year. They don't really know what to do with their money. They have huge investment funds, the 401k matching, corporate stock bonuses from their companies that they're working at. They're sitting on pretty nest eggs, and they don't know what to do with it. I told them, listen, if you buy a house or just your house that you already own, rent it out, Airbnb style, or long-term to tenants, the current rental rates are insane. With a couple of houses, say 3, and this is going for the older generation or the guys that are well off in good careers, 30s. Met a guy last night, he's 34, he's making over $100,000, same scenario. He's got a nice nest egg saved up. And if you could get a couple houses for some cash flow income, you rent each house out for $2,000 to $2,500, you're good overseas. Here, you could live like a king. $5,000 a month is absolute madness in Eastern Europe, especially in Southeast Asia. So it just takes a little bit of time building up some money for the guys that are on that level and already have decent jobs with decent pay and have decent bonuses and have saved up a bunch, or if you're lucky enough to step into a home already when it was record low interest rates, then you got some equity there. Now, if you're on the lower end of the spectrum, dude, it gets progressively harder for you. If you're working a dead-end job, if you've got no penny saved up, if you have nothing, no skills marketable, you're starting from the ground up, and that's a completely different conversation for you. But long term, it makes sense, even for the guy that's not earning that much and is able to put away some money, that you could go to a country, buy a $100,000 apartment, and have a place to live. You'll never go homeless again. You know, is that possible in America? Where could you get, in a luxurious area too, by the way, all the amenities needed, fully furnished? You just come with a bag of clothes, really, and you're done, and you have your place. Food for thought for the guys, because Americans don't understand that you can act. There are multiple countries. I think all the EU has the similar rules where you could go wherever inside Europe and you can buy real estate. You just can't buy land.
Declined by nearly 50%, while wealth held by boomers has increased. There are a few common explanations older generations give for this. The first is that young people don't work hard enough, or they're lazy. And this is somewhat true. In 1985, the average work week was 35 hours. Today, it's around 34 hours, making us 3% lazier.
3%? Wow! It's almost not worth bringing up. We're 3% lazier. And by the way, in year 1985, it was still good to get a house on your job with a single parent income where your woman could stay at home. And by the way, men actually had something to work for back then. You had decent women. You had family values that were still espoused in the media. There was no degeneracy at this level, hedonism at this level. Insane ideologies being pushed on the general population to this extreme. 1985 was still a very normal looking America. Christian families, traditional households, mother and father coming together, masculinity and femininity hasn't been destroyed yet. At least not to this level. It's already declining, but not to this level. And so a man had something to work for. You could go into your job, your white-collar job or blue-collar job. It didn't matter. You were still appreciated at some level. Everything was still affordable at some level. All the backbreaking work that you did meant something because you had a family. Now men are asked to do the same, if not more, to get less. And when they have less, they have no girlfriends, they have no wives, they have no children, they have nothing. They can't even afford to have a dog. They're so broke today because the economics are so screwed up. Yeah, bro, work harder. What am I working harder for? They all ask themselves the same question. I have nothing to live for. Give me purpose. My job doesn't even respect me. I'm told that I need to quit every 2 years just to get a decent raise. I can't even be a company man and show loyalty to a business anymore because they don't show me loyalty. What's the point? Young men are asking themselves all these questions, and yet nobody's providing them answers or solutions. And they wonder why. Young men are stagnating. Millions of men are exiting the workforce. We have a problem with employment and young men. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, start solving the basic fundamental issues that men are having. And maybe then will you start to see an uptick in the labor force.
Now, you don't need a PhD to see that this is not the issue. The second point raised is that young people spend money unnecessarily. And although young people spend more money on experiences and technology, they actually spend less on physical goods, balancing out most increases in spending. The primary contributor to higher spending with young people is the increased relative value of housing, healthcare, and education. In fact, if you remove housing from the equation, younger generations spend less on average. And contrary to popular belief, Gen Z and millennials are saving more of their earnings than older generations. Lastly, people will claim that young people are unskilled and need more education. But this is absolutely unfair. Every subsequent generation has become more educated than the last. And Gen Z will continue this trend and become even more educated than millennials. This, though, is expected because society has pushed down the narrative that college is necessary to progress in life. This would be fine and dandy if there was a value to education. But sadly, college is more expensive and less beneficial than ever. In 1980, the cost of attending a 4-year college program when adjusted for inflation was $10,000. Today, it's nearly $29,000. That's a 3x increase. But why? One simple word:
government-backed loans.
From 1976 to 2018, U.S. college enrollment grew by 78%. But at the same time, full-time faculty grew by 92%. Okay,
It's government bloat. Yes, faculty is a part of the problem because it all stems from government bloat. The government guaranteeing loans was probably the worst thing that could ever happen. Now that colleges know the government will guarantee any student's loan, of course they started getting bloated with faculty, management, less teachers, less research, more big building, more bullshit, less teaching, more money printing, more greed. This was all downstream of government getting in their fucking dirty noses, printing money, guaranteeing loans when they should have left it to the private market. That means less people would have went to college, less people would have qualified, but at least you could discharge your loan. At least you would have got fair interest rates. At least you'd have had to go through the ringer to qualify for said loans, and the prices of college admissions wouldn't have skyrocketed because there wouldn't have been government backing. Everything the government does is just fucking up life for the average person.
Hey, that doesn't seem too bad. But administration grew by 164%, and other non-administrative professionals 452%. That means
Government
that the
bloat.
professional staff at universities has far outpaced the growth of students. Colleges are spending more and more money on things other than education. More admin staff, more consultants, more fancy buildings, more of anything but education. To make matters worse, even if you get an education, it doesn't really solve anything. In 1980, households with a 4-year college education.
It's simple, bro. You want to see the tuition rates absolutely plummet? Let student loans be dischargeable in bankruptcy court, and also get the government out of guaranteeing any loan. End it all right then and there. Watch how colleges and their admission prices and tuition absolutely plummet through the fucking floor, and college becomes affordable for everybody again. Watch.
And earned $100,000 per year. Today, they earn $118,000 per year. This is a real increase of 18%, which seems good on the surface. However, during the same period of time, the cost of a 4-year education has increased from $40,000 to $115,000, a real increase of 188%. So here's the marketing pitch for college. You can increase your earnings by 18% by spending 190% more than previous. Unlike in the past, college is no longer a path to economic prosperity. Instead, young people are forced into a perpetual education and credential machine. What once required a bachelor's degree and entry-level experience now requires a master's degree and 300 years of experience. The cherry on top, it will cost you everything. Given how expensive education is, most students have to take out large student loans. Currently, the total balance of student debt in the United States is $1.7 trillion. This number has grown 2 times faster than wages over the last 20 years. But this isn't limited to student loans. With rising living costs and stagnating wages, the only way to make ends meet for young people is accumulating more and more debt. Since 2013, credit card debt has increased 26%, auto debt 14%, and mortgage debt 44%. This increase is happening while young people are earning 13% less than they did in 2013. But this isn't the only debt that young people need to worry about. While personal consumer debt has been rising and young people are more indebted than ever, the United States of America has gone on a debt binge unlike anything the world has ever seen. Fiscal responsibility has become a forgotten concept in the United States. Since the removal of the gold standard, politicians have discovered that there is no consequence to printing endless amounts of money. And over the last 60 years, government debt has grown 3 times faster than GDP and now sits at $35 trillion versus GDP of $27 trillion.
This is the ticking time bomb that nobody wants to talk about. Every time you see these clowns from Team Red and Blue on the campaign trails making promises how we're going to do this and that, not a single one talks about the debt bubble we're under. Not a single one talks about what this $35 trillion represents for everyday Americans. There's a reason they never talk about this and talk about stupid shit, like the culture wars and all that. Oh yeah, let's have conversations about everything but balancing our budgets as a country and what happens when this pops.
The only time debt was this high in U.S. history was World War II, the bloodiest, most destructive conflict in human history. This debt is obviously not free and has associated interest costs. Currently, the U.S. is spending 16% of their annual budget on interest, or $624 billion. That's enough money to pay off all student debt in 3 years. Sadly, There's literally no mechanism to stop the government
or solve homelessness, or make sure every single new family can get a push and help start a home and a family, right? Like help them on their loan, give them low interest rates or damn near zero interest rates. You could even do things like, hey, for the first kid, since we're having a population crisis in the United States as well, for the first kid, we'll wipe 25% of your debt. Second kid, another 25%. Hey, the third kid will put interest at zero. Whatever it is, you can tool this entire thing to make it enticing for people to have families and kids. But no. Can't have that. Can't have the plebs becoming healthy, mentally strong, spiritually aligned with themselves, and independent of the government because we need them on the teat. We're in the debt bubble. We're a debt-driven economy. We got to spend, boys, without producing as much. Chickens are going to come home to roost real soon. And wait until you see those fireworks go off.
Government from spending money it does not have. Elected officials are not required to balance budgets. They cannot be fired for overspending. They aren't measured on returns on invested
capital. Look at all these corrupt
All they
fucks.
need to do is spend the money and campaign for votes.
All of them.
Now, $35 trillion sounds like a lot of money.
All of them. You don't hate your government enough. Believe me. Give it a few years when the pain sets in. Good old Bo told you, you don't hate your government enough. Remember that.
Money. And it is. But what if I told you that the real debt number is much, much higher? Let me break it down. National debt is $34.6 trillion. State-level debt adds $1.9 trillion to the mix. Unfunded OPEB liabilities are another $1 trillion. Unfunded pension liabilities, $7 trillion. And the biggest, baddest of them all, Social Security and Medicare contribute to a whopping $80 trillion of additional liabilities. Therefore, the total actual debt held by the United States government stands at a staggering $123,875,533,000,000. That is 5 times greater than the U.S. GDP, or put another way, $370,000 per American.
Yep,
but in
there it
reality,
is.
if you're over 50, you probably won't have to worry about this debt. Most of this debt won't impact you. The lives of older generations will be fine. Instead, this spending will benefit old people and levy a tax on the future of young people. So, if we exclude those over 50, the tax amounts to over $600,000 a person. To make matters worse, the high cost of living is leading young people to have fewer children. Without a sharp increase in immigration, this will likely reduce production and worsen the debt burden. But why and how would the government spend so much money knowing it's nearly impossible to ever pay it back? Do they not care about young people and their future? The short answer, they don't. The founding fathers of the United States are often revered as godlike figures. They are thought of as distinguished and experienced individuals who sought out to create the framework for the greatest nation the world has ever seen. Surely, these men must have been wise and old. Let's see. James Monroe, 18. Aaron Burr, 20. Alexander Hamilton, 21. James Madison, 25. Thomas Jefferson, 33. John Adams, 40.
That's amazing.
And George Washington,
I
a
thought they were old,
distinguished
too.
44. If you include everyone who signed the Declaration of Independence, the average age was 44. Now, let's take a look at Congress today. The average age? 58. What about the Senate? 64. But what's the median age in the United States? 38. How can people nearly twice the age of the average American truly understand the challenges they face? They can't. How are elected officials near the end of their life supposed to behave fiscally responsible when their decisions won't burden them? They won't. Mitch McConnell took office in 1985 and is currently 82 years old. He can barely communicate, yet he decides your future. Joe Biden is 81 years old and was elected to office in 1970 before any millennials were even born. Today, he is proposing major spending bills that he will never see to completion. John McCain, Elijah Cummings, and Dianne Feinstein all died while in office. These were people who were voting on the future of the United States, but would never see it. How is this okay? Young people are seeing rising costs of living and stagnating wages across the country. Wealth is continually growing with older generations while young people get poorer and poorer. Education continues to increase in price while becoming less valuable in the...
I would have respected it if he put Trump's old ass up there, but a bunch of the MAGAs will come down on his head. I wish the MAGAs would understand that none of these old fucks care about you, red or blue. We've been going downhill, adding to this debt bubble, because the uni party doesn't care about you and they only serve corporations. Show absolutely no loyalty to Republicans or Democrats. We need new leadership, not managers. Not these old hags, these old farts. that are managing us into the ground. We need a young 40-something, red hot-blooded American who knows what it's like to work, dead-end jobs, side gigs, struggling to own a home, struggling to sustain his family. Regular, everyday working Americans need to be in Congress, in Senate, in the presidency, or else it's bullshit. We got record traders here like Nancy Pelosi, dude. Record. Did you know Nancy Pelosi insider trades and makes far more fucking money than most investment firms when you calculate returns? She's a more prolific trader than entire companies set up to trade, with some of the brightest minds of some of our highest, most distinguished Ivy League schools. Nancy Pelosi's husband does better than them. Isn't that crazy? And it's allowed. It's happening right now. Nobody bats a fucking eyelash. There are Republicans that are trading. Some have had better returns than Nancy Pelosi.
Hello, my name is Glenn Campbell. I'm from Southeast Missouri. I'm here to tell you a little bit about a new company that I'm starting called Make My Cap. But before I do, let me tell you how I got here. Out of college, I went to work for Foot Locker. While I was working there, what I noticed is everybody would come in and they tried to hook up their shoes with hats. And so back then, this is the early 90s, pre-internet, there wasn't a place where you could just buy hats. So if you were in Cape Girardeau, Missouri and wanted a Texas hat, let's say, you would either drive to Texas or call a buddy down there and have them mail you one. So our thought was, could we start a store with nothing but hats and carry every single team, every pro team, every college team? And so really, that was kind of our vision for starting Hat World. We opened the first Hat World store in Lafayette, Indiana in 1995. We grew that company. We bought Lids out of bankruptcy in 2001. We used the name Lids, which was an awesome name. And we grew that company to over 1,500 stores in the US and Canada. I left the industry in 2019, and when you build a company like we did, Hat World and Lids, I think hats are just in my DNA. And so I knew I always wanted to get back in the hat business.
No one wants to say, we're all divided, guys. It's team red, team blue. Pick a side. How about I don't partake in this busted system and I will not pick a side, and you're both fucking shit. You're both driving the country into the ground. You both take money from corporations. You both legislate against the common man because you're paid to, you're influenced to by the lobbies. How about we start our own third party? How about we vote in our own independent candidates that are everyday working Americans, people that have skin in the game, not these old farts on the way out. I will never vote a Republican or a fucking Democrat, ever, and neither should you. And if you have a initial reaction to say, but it's better to vote for this one instead of that one, understand that your choice was already taken from you. Both have been financed heavily. Their campaigns heavily financed by billionaires and multi-billionaire donor class. You think they're going to legislate for you? Or did you already forget that most of the promises they make on the campaign trail never come true? People have very short-term memories, and that's how we got in this shit fest in the first place. I'm asking people to wake up and see the bigger picture here. That unless everyday normal people like you get into office, nothing will change for everyday normal people like you. That's the brutal truth. And if you have an escape plan or enough finances, you're lucky, get out, because the ship will take generations to right itself. Most of us want families now. We want traditional women now. We want to be the heads of our own households now. Some of us do not want to wait for the culture rot in America to go away, to fix itself, if it ever does. I don't want to be 90 years old looking back at America finally on the right paths while my life just passed waiting. We need solutions now. For some of us, that's leaving. For others, in a not so fortunate situation, maybe you got to stay a little longer, work a little harder, figure out ways out of the rat race and the trap. It's not an ideal situation, guys. We're all feeling the issues with the economy. That's why I left. That's why other men left. That's why men in the private community talk about it. Every time we're talking about stuff in general, it's feeling inflation, feeling the cost of living, feeling like working harder than ever, getting less than ever. And how the fuck do we escape this loop? The only answer we have so far is going overseas. If anybody's got a better idea, because we all say the same shit, dude, we love America. I hate even talking shit about America, but I must because I care about it so much. That's why I talk shit. Would I have left if I absolutely didn't have to? Of course I would. I would love to stay there. I would love to have a family there. I love the big open road, the vast wilderness, the beautiful landscape, the American mentality of if you work hard enough, you'll get it. That's what it was when I first landed in America in the 90s. It's not that anymore, unfortunately. America does not serve its people anymore. The average citizen, the average young man is destitute. America doesn't care about its young men anymore. And that's why so many young men are opting out of the system. I'm just telling you guys how I'm navigating my way out of it. and showing you, especially on the other channel, how life is going, how all the pieces to the puzzle are coming together. When I left America, would I want to come back? Oh, do I hope it rights itself? Yes, of course. At heart, I'm an American. Even if I was born in Romania, I consider myself American first, no matter what. I espouse American values, true core tenets of what America is, to everybody around the world that I meet. But there also is an American part of me that is very distrustful of its government, that has been left with a bitter taste in my mouth about the way it treats its people, that I have the right to complain as long as they fucking tax me without representation, especially of how shit is going in the wrong direction, of course. And so I will continue to do so as long as more and more men keep waking up to this fact. And then the comment here says, creating a generation of men with nothing to lose, not a dime to their name, no ability to have a wife or kids is a dangerous game to be playing. Boomers, buying houses like candy, drives up the cost of rent, votes against building new housing developments, thus making the market unaffordable for their children. Also boomers, hey, we want grandkids. How come you don't want children? You should work hard like we did. If you don't have six figures by 6 years old, you're doomed. There's always that funny meme, too, that the biggest financial mistake I made at 6 years old was not buying a house during the 08-09 crash. That is so true. My parents' house, when they bought it, was $120,000. During the 08-09 crash, a Chinese investor came and bought 6 houses that were for sale in the neighborhood for $15,000 each. By the way, that same house my parents sold before coming here to to Romania, is $400,000 now. From $120,000 to $15,000 to back up to $400,000 plus. That guy who bought that house got fucking cooked on interest rates. His monthly mortgage payment is asinine, and he's living in an area that's declining, that's experiencing mass migration, increase in crime, drugs, homelessness, all that shit. My parents' area, that I grew up in was a nice, quiet suburb, has turned into a ghetto shit now. So, but hey, prices are going up. Cool, dude. Awesome. Okay. It's America in a nutshell. But I'll see you guys on the next one. Appreciate everybody that's been buying shirts too. Everybody that's been joining us on the private community, the calls, talking about topics like this, sharing some wisdom. Everybody that's been doing the consultations. It's been amazing talking to you guys. It's absolutely insane to see how many men from different income levels are dealing with the same problem. Truly, it is insane. Take care, everybody.
Food weight melee. Okay. Well, at least I got 2 level 3s, or 2 3 stats, 3 stat raptors. I got a couple of 3 stat raptors here, but you need like a bunch of them, and then you breed the next level of male. Unfortunately, I got to keep breeding the stamina and the oxygen a little bit. I do have an oxygen weight male here, which I should do next. And this weight melee isn't even necessary anymore. It's obsolete. Because I got weight melee. I got food weight melee on a male. So this weight melee is obsolete. I'll just put him there for now. I don't think he's got anything special, right? You know what? Let's just get rid of him. Don't need him. That's the harsh reality of the Ark. Yeah, these oxygen and stamina, I gotta get these guys bred up as soon as possible. But anyway, this is the new male. Food weight melee. And it's off. Okay. 380. I'm up to 380. So I'm up to 380 with 3 stats. So another 3 stats, it should go up a little bit above 400 maybe. Just like my Carnos. They usually tap out around 4 something. Yeah. So anyway, I just let these 2 babies grow. And I think we're doing good. I like this guy's opinion about what's going on, but if I didn't go out there and vote for Trump, I swear to God, I'm pretty sure that we'd be living in liberal land where everybody thinks that paying for sex change operations for prisoners is okay, and men and women's sports is okay. I mean, a man's body is much more powerful by design than a woman's body, and should never be at the competing at the same level. The military is the only exception, and even then, there's going to be special rules for women in the military because women do not have a lot of upper body strength. We have upper body strength. We're designed to carry shit and build shit and go out there and work our asses off for extended periods of time. A woman's not designed for that. A woman does like little stuff around the house. Some women, like in certain Native American cultures, the woman would go out and get firewood, but she decides how much firewood she brings back. That's like the toughest part. Besides, she would, make clothes and, clean around the house, just the traditional shit. Women are not designed for that. They're just not physiologically designed. You can, the spirit is willing, but the body sure as hell don't agree. It doesn't. It's just not designed for that. So anyway, I'm going to make sure these two are fed. And that's good. I got 1, 2. I got the male. 3, 4. So it looks like I got 4 3-stat females, which is really good. That's really good. Now I have to let them reset and maybe make a bunch of more females, and then start breeding those females with the oxygen male, or But I gotta also this stamina. This is the only one that has stamina. I've been breeding her since I started, and I have not been able to get that goddamn stamina off of there. That's a good stamina, and I have not been able to get it off of there on any male, which is pissing me off. I need to get that stamina off of that animal onto a male. Even a low-level male. That would be fine. But I need to get it on a male so I can breed a male to the other females. All right, I think that's enough food. Put this one. All right, we're good there. Well, anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for going to the cold cave with me. Man, it's been a while since I've been over there. This shotgun kicks ass, man. Like, you don't fuck with me. Point blank to the face. And they did destroy one piece of armor. They destroyed my helmet, the one I had. And they also did a lot of damage to this. So, that's interesting. Let me see if can I repair this? Can I repair it? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. All right. Oh, look! They pretty much destroyed this feet as well. The foot armor. I missed that. There we go. Yeah, that cave was interesting. It's not big. If it was any bigger, man, it would be really confusing, guys. Then we would have a problem. Anyway, I got to go do some stuff today and see if I can get some stuff done. Thank you for watching. I'm going to go ahead and log off. Waiting for the new male to grow up. Did he grow up yet? Oh, he did grow up yet. He did grow up. Okay. Well, let's see. Let me see if I can start breeding them. No, Colonel Solitaire. bad. Forgot to check if it was grown up already. Alright, so we're on mutation number 11. So we're looking for mutation 12. Alright, let's go. Here. Oh. Not gonna let me do it, huh? Okay. There we go. Get you all snug in here. Snug like a bug in a rug. And then enable mating. Yes. There we go. So make a bunch of eggs with whatever's available. And you, my friend, I don't really need you after all. I'm not going to bother. Just kill you off. And you are going to go in storage. Because that's the prior mutation. Mutation 10. So we have mutation 11 breeding, so we're going to look for mutation number 12. And there you go. Oh, let me put some of my stuff on mute. And I usually don't like to carry all the good shit on me because, you know, then I can, if I die, then, you know, I disappear. Pretty much lose everything. Alright, that's fine. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Been an hour and 1 minute. That's not bad. You take care.